Chief Advisor of the Interim Government of Bangladesh, Muhammad Yunus, gave an exclusive interview with Leaders Talk during his visit to China. He invited Chinese enterprises to invest in Bangladesh, saying he looks forward to elevating bilateral cooperation to a new stage.
China can play a very important role in transforming Bangladesh the way we are imagining.
He expressed admiration for China's poverty alleviation achievements and spoke highly of Chinese modernization.
Amazing thing. It's an inspiration for the whole world.
He reflected on the history of bilateral exchanges and shared his vision for the future.
Our forefathers knew each other, and now it's our time to explore and understand each other and continue in that path.
An exclusive interview with Muhammad Yunus, Chief Advisor of the Interim Government of Bangladesh.
Hello and welcome to Leaders Talk, where we meet leaders, thinkers, and trailblazers. I'm Zhou Yun. Our guest today is Muhammad Yunus, Chief Advisor of Bangladesh Interim Government. As 2025 marks the 50th anniversary of China-Bangladesh diplomatic relations and the year of people-to-people exchanges, how does he view advancing the bilateral relation to new heights? How does he foresee the high-quality cooperation under the Belt and Road Initiative? And amid global challenges and uncertainties, how can countries work together to uphold peace, stability, and prosperity? Let's find these answers together with him. Professor Yunus, welcome to China, and thank you so much for joining us on Leaders Talk.
Thank you.
Your visit to the country this time coincides with the pivotal moment of the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations between our two countries. So what significance do you hold for this visit, and what outcomes do you hope to achieve?
It's an amazing journey together, and it's the right time for this celebration of half a century. It's a historical moment, and we are very happy we have reached the peak of our relationship. China can play a very important role in transforming Bangladesh the way we are imagining, particularly young population in Bangladesh are imagining. When I say young population, we are 171 million people. Half the population is under the age of 27. So you can imagine how young the whole nation is.
Bangladesh is situated on the delta in the northeastern part of the South Asian subcontinent, formed by the alluvial deposits of the Ganges and Brahmaputra rivers. It borders India and Myanmar to the east and faces the Bay of Bengal to the south. From March 26 to 29, Muhammad Yunus, Chief Advisor of the Interim Government of Bangladesh, attended the Boao Forum for Asia Annual Conference 2025 in Hainan and visited Beijing. This marks Yunus's first visit to China since assuming the role of Chief Advisor in August 2024.
Professor, yesterday you met with Chinese President Xi, and both sides exchanged ideas on lots of critical issues regarding bilateral relations as well as global development. So what were your major takeaway from this very important meeting?
Everything went very smoothly and with a lot of enthusiasm and friendship. Important thing was we're on the same wavelength. We already have a journey together. I met him as a vice president. He was vice president at that time in 2009.
Yes.
So that was another building block for us as a person, not between country, but in between two persons.
You've met President Xi, as you said, the first time in 2009 and this time again. So what is your impression of President Xi as a leader, and how has his political thoughts and philosophy inspired you in a way?
He's a leader with imagination. He doesn't mind taking tough decisions because he feels that these are things need to be done for the nation, and he does that. So he inspires everybody, and his record as a leader is unparalleled. People love the way he led Chinese nation to a newer and newer height all the time. So that confidence of the people he enjoys, and he still is a very humble person. He's not kind of floating in his glory, I've done everything. He feels like he's just doing another chapter. That's about it. As a humble person, he shows up very clearly, and he's willing to listen. which is very difficult for a person at his position. But he seems like he's a very patient person. When I was explaining things, he was patiently listening. Not only he's listening, he's responding. And responding in a very right way, that you felt that, yes, your ideas have cut across his thoughts, and he's judging where you stand and where he stands. So you feel very comfortable in a situation like that. I was very happy to meet him.
Was there any particular moment, your engagement and interaction with President Xi, that were really impressive to you, that really stand out?
Impressive thing that he understood the historical moment that we are going through. I didn't have to explain very much. So he was looking forward to those relations. I'm inviting investments from China to come to Bangladesh. I said, take it as your complementary economy. So you bring your investment, you produce things, sell wherever you want, whether you want to sell in China or you sell outside of Bangladesh, anywhere else. It's your choice. We are your factory. Use our young population, very energetic young population, train them up to do the things. It may be reassembling plant, assembling plant, it may be a very complicated technological plant. Young people are very quick to adopt to the technology they are taught. So I said, you have a very eager population, very talented young population. Use them. And there are plenty of them, millions of them. And then they gave them the example, it's not only doing business in Bangladesh. They said, if you just take this geographical position of Bangladesh, we are lucky to be positioned in a way, we have access to whole Bay of Bengal, the whole ocean, the whole world in front of us, in a long coastline for us. But we are just at the beginning of countries which are landlocked countries. Nepal is a landlocked country. They have no access to the sea. Bhutan is a landlocked country. They have no access to the sea. Only way they can, all these three regions can reach out to the ocean, reach out to the world, is through us. And we are happy to do that, facilitate that, because this will improve the quality of life for all the people in the region.
Professor, speaking of economic cooperation, actually currently there are nearly 1,000 Chinese companies doing business in our country, creating over 550,000 jobs. That's enormous. And this time, as you just mentioned, you look to attract more Chinese companies to invest here. But can you give us an idea about what kind of a business environment, investment environment are like in your country, and what measures are taken to make sure the Chinese investments are being protected and their rights upheld?
First of all, we explain to them we are open to their suggestion. We are here to facilitate them. You make your money, but you are creating jobs for our young people. That thing that we get. So we don't have to worry unemployment issue, is growing population, this young population, jobless young population. That's what should not worry us. So the more investment you make, that's what benefit.
Professor Yunus, during the meeting, President Xi said that China will further reform comprehensively and expand the high standard opening up, which will create opportunities for the people in Bangladesh and also other countries around the world. So what new opportunities do you anticipate on collaboration of different areas as a result of these measures?
Two things come out easily in our perspective. Relocating of Chinese industries. As I said, benefit of being there and helping us to provide the job opportunities for young people and so on. So this is very important for us to do that. And then we learn the technology. Some of the things that you would not like to do because you're moving up, you're leaving behind something which can be done by the Bangladeshis. They're learning from you. So another subsidiary industries grow up to support your industries, which is high-level industries or higher kind of technologies and so on. So those subsidiary industries start coming up. So that benefits us, and they become a skill all around. So they will have jobs not only in Bangladesh. Now they're skilled people. They'll be respected everywhere because you are not tied to only Bangladesh economy. So you'll be creating your own facilities, own ideas, and so on, and continue to deal with the rest of the world to how to do that. Particularly for women and girls, it's very important to get the technology in your control and be in business out of your own home. You don't have to set up a whole factory. China is moving very fast in the technology area.
Right.
They are the leaders of the world. So we'll be under a good teacher that they will show you all the things that technology can accomplish.
Well, Professor, given that digital economy is a high priority on the agenda, so what is your vision given China's technological advancement, as you mentioned, in AI, in digital innovation? So what is your vision in enhancing cooperation on that front?
Yes, we want to learn how to enter that world, because we are not included in it yet, AI and other things. This will be everyday thing. AI will be everyday use. So if the Chinese companies come and use this, we'll learn it very quickly, and we'll become experts in how to handle, how to design, how to improve. And China will benefit from it. Bangladesh will benefit from it, because you have very talented young people around you and supporting you to what you want to do. So that will inspire and lead us to the next step of the economy and the social life.
Mm-hmm. And China has been the #1 trading partner of your country for 15 consecutive years, and now both countries have agreed to negotiate free trade agreement, FTA. So what kind of benefits do you anticipate from the signing of FTA to especially the trade and economic development of our two nations?
It's a great gesture for us, because getting a free entry will open up the opportunity to have a market share in China. And recently we're talking about selling our fruits like mango, jackfruit, guava, and many other fruits we have, which is a very funny thing, but it's a delicious mango. And we claim that Bangladeshi mango is the best in the world.
Is it sweet? Very sweet?
Very delicious, very delicious. It's not only sweet, it's sour and sweet. It's absolutely delicious. It will be coming within a month. The sad thing is, when it comes out in the market, when the trees are producing all this massive number of mangoes, people can't consume all of a sudden. So there are lots of waste. And China will be helping us to process them, store them, transfer them, because they want to buy mangoes.
You need a bigger market for that.
Absolutely, and a continuous market, not bigger, it's also continuous. Round the year, 12 months a year, you can have it. It's how you store, how to preserve it in a way, and put it into different kind of product. It's not the mango, green mango, ripe mango, and that's it. Mango products you build into many, many other products. Those kind of mango drinks, mango chocolate, or whatever you name it. If you can succeed in one product, then there are so many other such products like jackfruit, like guava. It's not about a thinking process. It's already ordered. It's already been confirmed that China will be buying all these fruits from us. Then we have the big ocean, as I said, Bay of Bengal, just next to us, huge, huge. We have not very organized in catching fish from the ocean. China will bring that technology, China will bring that experience for us, and we'll work together to make sure we all benefit from it.
And Bangladesh is also the first South Asian country to sign the MOU with China on the Belt and Road Initiative cooperation. And over the past years, many of the projects have been flourishing in sectors of infrastructure and energy. So, Professor, in what way do you think the cooperation under this initiative has improved the livelihood of the people in the country, and how do you foresee a high quality, or to advance the high quality building of Belt and Road cooperation?
Yes, we need it very much. That's why we were the first one to do that. We need connectivity. Road connection was one of the most efficient way to carry all this product to these areas. So we have to build up lots of roads communication. It's an artery for our economy, how to make it healthy economy, build on the road communication. So Belt and Road comes in a very important way, and you benefit the people on both sides of the road. That's right. It's not just a long distance from the starting point to the ending point. All around, every single point benefit from that.
Exactly.
The sub roads will coming up, businesses will grow between neighbors in the one city, one town after another town, and so on. So lots of energizing of the community and energizing of the population begins. So we give a very high priority, and I like the idea of Belt and Road.
Mm-hmm. And since you swore in as the head of interim government last year, there have been different questions on the international arena. One of them is whether the trajectory of the foreign policy in your country will change. For instance, the relation with China. What's your response to that?
We always felt China is our friend, and we 50 years of history, we are always a good friend. We are good friends, but we want to build that friendship to a new level. That's all we are saying. We want to strengthen it in many different ways. We had little business, now we're going to grow big business. We have little interaction in a social way, in a cultural way. One of the things that we suggested during my visit is to build a Chinese cultural center in Bangladesh, so that Bangladesh is familiar with what's going on in China, and particularly learning the language. We're emphasizing that we must have the facility for Bangladeshi people, 170 million, to learn Chinese. If you're a friend, you have to speak in their language. Then you become better friends, closer friends. So that is missing. We see only few people can speak Chinese. I said, that's a shame. So the cultural center will bring many of the things, older things that we had been gone through in Bangladesh and China relationship. For thousands of years, Chinese travelers going to Bangladesh, Banjala, that's a familiar name. When I first came to China, when I talk about Bangladesh, nobody understood what Bangladesh is. Then I learned, Banjala. I said, yes, Banjala.
Right.
Then everybody knows. So the new generation will know that we are not strangers to each other. Our forefathers knew each other. And now it's our turn to explore and understand each other and continue in that path.
Well, Professor, in carrying forward this traditional friendship that you just depicted and also in advancing the bilateral relation to even new heights, what do you believe is the key?
Most important is exchange, visiting, language, cultural exchange. This will be important, music, art, drama. These are ways to communicate with each other. So Bangladeshi music will be here to see how you enjoy this, and we will be enjoying Chinese music, Chinese culture. So those are the initial building blocks where you build up the relationship, because you see the similarity, you see the exciting things that can happen.
This year also actually marks the year of people-to-people exchanges between our two nations.
Yeah.
And about 2 years ago, Chinese President Xi wrote back a letter, which was from a Bangladeshi girl called Alifa Cheng, because she came to this world with the help of Chinese doctors on peace art. At a very critical time. And President Xi, in the letter, encouraged her to study hard, pursue her dreams, and carry on the traditional friendship between the two countries.
Many stories will come out when we are close to each other. Stories about how you protect, how you save, how you improve, how you inspire. Most importantly, how you inspire each other.
Right.
So those are the things which you'll remember all your life, and the nations are built with those memories, and the friendship comes through that. Healthcare is very important, and Chinese doctors are providing healthcare. They're making arrangements for providing healthcare for Bangladesh. Whole Bangladesh is very happy with that, because we needed a reliable healthcare system. We didn't have it yet. Chinese hospitals will be available in Grameen for Bangladeshi patients. Then we learned from the Chinese doctors their way of improving the healthcare system in Bangladesh. So it's very helpful for us having this close relationship in many different ways, not just a financial way, as a humanitarian way. It's about the friendship way, cultural way. Maybe someday Bangladeshi play will be translated in Chinese and performed in China, and people say, we understand what you're talking about.
Right.
That's how interactions begin. You start admiring, appreciating each other's life.
Yes, that's the beauty of mutual exchanges and mutual understanding. And earlier today, you went to Peking University because you received an honorary doctorate there.
Right.
Congratulations. And you said that going to Peking University, you feel like home.
Yes.
So what does this honor mean to you, Professor?
That's very important. The fact that you invited me to give me an honorary doctorate, this is a big gesture. For a university like Peking University, which is one of the top universities, the oldest university, they offered me an honorary professorship in 2006. That's why I'm saying I feel like I'm a home, because this is my home. And for second reason, that I feel at home because I always love to be in the university campus. I feel like that's where I belong to. So in two ways, I feel at home. That's the point I was trying to emphasize.
And you delivered a speech there. So what are the key messages that you want to inspire those students?
I was trying to tell the young people that imagination is a power. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you, you just imagine. It's free. But that's very important. It's more important than reading books and so on, which is important, but imagination is far, far ahead than gathering knowledge from books. Because if you imagine, it will happen. If you don't imagine, it will never happen. So that's the power.
How has imagination influenced you personally, sir? For instance, when you were a little boy, what were your dreams back then, and how has your imagination inspired you to become who you are today?
Well, I would say I was a lucky kid, growing up in a very different way than most of the kids. I had the opportunity to travel a lot. As a 10-year-old, 15-year-old, I was traveling. So every country I go, something different happens, something different. As the language is different, as the clothing is different, or behavior is different. So that was something that gave me lots of different ideas and different experiences and so on. I would say that has helped a lot for me to come up with the things that things are not the same for the whole world. These are very different.
You have seen the world,
Exactly.
and you are
see the varieties.
Yes, and becoming open.
Absolutely.
Well, Professor, Bangladesh aims to graduate from the least developed country by 2026, with now the deadline looming. So how do you assess its process towards this goal?
We are going in that process. We'll continue to proceed and make sure that we can graduate starting from 2026. So we are on the path. We'll continue to do that and see how we can make it happen. And we need support from everybody.
You have traveled extensively throughout the country, talking to people here, visit different places. So which are the uniqueness do you believe about China's development, especially in its path towards modernization?
Amazing thing, amazing. The first thing that I mentioned when I talk about China, what inspiration it was for the whole world, not for Bangladesh or a particular country. It's an inspiration for the whole world. What we thought is impossible, like impossible is how to get the poverty out from a nation. China, with a large population, the large poor population, dared to no poverty. Everybody say crazy. They won't do that. They will not make it. China made it happen. It's in the entire history of mankind, it never happened before. So that's what else you can have for admiration for a nation that has shown it. It's not a theory in a book that you can do this and it's the reality of life. Reality of life demonstrated and happened. So impossible things have become easy for China. China was a poor country, didn't have an industry. Now it's a leader of industry. Every country, every nation has to come to China, buy something they cannot produce or produce more expensively. They produce much cheaper, better, so you do that. So everything that you see, how you mobilize the strength of the population, is the power of the young people in the nation, and make them to work in a way which benefits the entire world, not just one nation. And people are very grateful to China for that.
Yunus was born in 1940 in Chittagong, Bangladesh's second largest city. Before becoming chief advisor, he was best known as an economist and university professor. While teaching at the University of Chittagong, Yunus realized that skills alone could not lift Bangladesh's impoverished population out of poverty. They needed startup funds to develop small-scale business models suited to their circumstances. In 1976, he founded an institution dedicated to providing unsecured microloans to the poor. In 1983, the Grameen Bank, also known as Village Bank, was officially established. To this day, Grameen Bank has helped countless individuals escape poverty.
Professor, you have wrote it before, and I quote, that I became involved in the poverty issue not as a policymaker or a researcher. I become involved because poverty was all around me. So given this journey from witnessing poverty to helping people get out of extreme poverty, what are your major insights in this uneasy journey?
Conclusion always is our concepts are wrong. Major takeaway is we have to redesign our concepts. So today, most of the things we do kind of push away people from the mainstream. So because we are so selfish. So selfishness has been promoted in the economy, economic understanding and so on. I said there's another side of human being called selflessness. That is abundant. I would rather promote the selflessness beyond the selfishness. And that selflessness should be guiding us, leading us, the whole society, whole human community. rather than selfishness driving us. Selfishness drives us to wars. Selflessness drives us to the peace.
And also engage in the opposite mindset seems to be at the heart of your philosophy. Can you also elaborate just a little bit on that as well?
Yes, I keep saying you have to imagine what kind of world you want. You take the world as it is and you try to fit yourself into it. I said, that's not what it should be. You design your world. You are the creator of the world. So we join hands and create the world that we want. And that's my point. If you imagine, it will happen. Let's imagine that world. We're saying, oh, it is impossible to have a world without war. I said, imagine a world without war. It will happen. And we'll work on it and make it happen.
Professor, the World War II has an impact on you personally. And just as you depicted in the book, Banker to the Poor, which you I wrote with details about how your father established the second business in your hometown after the first one was damaged by the Japanese bomb. Right, and you were born at the start of the war. Right. This year marks the 80th anniversary of the World Anti-Fascist War. So what lessons do you think we can draw from history in order to make sure that mistakes doesn't get repeated again and again?
One lesson, war no more. That's it. We have to do everything to make sure there's no word called war anymore. Peace is the solution. War is not a solution. One war leads to another war. So why don't we build peace so that there's no need for war?
Professor Yunus, it was a great pleasure talking to you, and many thanks for sharing this with your very insightful views.
Thank you.
During the conversation, Yunus shared his insights on China's development and strong confidence in bilateral cooperation. He described China as not only a reliable partner, but a trusted friend and also a model for modernization, especially for developing nations. With that, we're going to wrap up this edition of Leaders Talk. I'm So Yun reporting from Beijing. Thank you for watching and see you next time.